Hey guys, it's me, Julia Flynn-Worry, and welcome to Friday night. Woohoo! It's about to be the weekend, and we are so excited. And I am really, really excited to bring this information to you tonight. This is going to be one of my most favorite videos I have ever made, I can promise you. And I have really great notes to make sure of that. Tonight, I just want to remind you that we're going to be covering how to tap into your sales superpower. So if you've been wondering how to find your magic bullet or your secret weapon, or how to leap over the sales hurdles in a single bound, then keep on watching, because tonight that's what we're going to be talking about. First of all, I want to thank you for continuing to watch me during this challenge. My challenge, if you don't know it, is to do one live or one sort of video presentation every single day for 365 days. I'm really loving it. I'm learning a lot. It's awesome. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. You could also join my private sales and marketing group on Facebook. And on that group, we share a lot of ideas, some curated content, great information, questions, surveys, things like that on how to improve your sales and marketing effectiveness. And it's one of the things that I think I love the most, because I don't know if it's necessarily an open dialogue, but definitely people are asking questions and getting more information, which I love. If you don't know about me, I've been in sales forever. I was taken to my first sales training when I was about 12. My parents pulled me out of school to go see Tom Hopkins, which was really amazing. I know, it's really cool. It's one of my favorite things. Also, I started in sales around the block selling Olympic Greeting Club cards when I was 8. So I just love everything about sales. It's my whole life. My focus is to really share as much of my own personal experiences in sales and marketing as I can, and to find out what other people have been doing to really expedite and make it easier for people to make more money in sales and be more profitable, so that we can kind of skip over the hard stuff and be more profitable. So tonight's conversation is really about your superpower, and it relates to objections. So everybody knows what objections are. That's the, whoa, man, I'm not ready to buy. Whoa, man, no, this is not for me. Whoa, not now, right? Or, hey, I need to know more information about that. Or I need to know a little bit more about what you're talking about. Objections are really our prospects' way of letting us know that we need to give them more information. Sometimes that comes in the form of a question like, hey, I need to know more information. And sometimes that comes in the form of, no, not now, or no, I'm not ready, or I need to think about it, right? The awful dreaded, I need to think about it. But really, that's just kind of people asking for more information. And that's really a challenge, because it can take the wind out of your sales. You know, it can really be a little nerve-wracking. But I challenge you right now to think about the fact that your superpower, your sales superpower, is that you already know the objections even before your prospect knows what they are, and even before they've been voiced. That's right. You're a mind reader. You have a magic ball, a magic 8-ball. You have a crystal ball. You can see into the future. You actually already know what they're going to ask you. So a little trick that I think helps a lot of people is to, number one, create your own top 10 FAQ. That's right, your own top 10, top 40 of what it is that people are going to be asking you about, and that are going to be objections about your product or service, because you've kind of already experienced those, right? So I just want to point out that the very first thing that I learned when I was selling printing back in, I don't know how long ago it was, but I was first selling printing, was something called the ultimate trifecta. The ultimate trifecta, little triangle, is price, quality, and timeliness, or deliverability, or when it's going to be available. So it's time, price, and quality. That's the ultimate trifecta. So anything that you really think about in terms of objections kind of surrounds that trifecta, right? It just kind of circles around there. And you really do know what the top 10 things are that people are going to be asking you, and what the things are that are going to be their concerns or their questions. But they really do surround timeliness. When can I get it? How good is it made? How much does it cost? And is it good value for money? That kind of really surrounds all of that. So this is my challenge to you guys. My challenge is for you to really make a list of the top 10 FAQs, the facts that you want someone to know about your product, the things that you know are super duper important, number one. Number two, make a list of the last most popular questions that people asked you about your product or service. So the things that, whether or not you told them, those were the things that they asked you about your product. And then make a list of the most important things that they should know about your product, whether or not they are considered normal, frequently asked questions or not, what they really need to know about your product or service that you know is so super duper important. That right there, all of that, that's your superpower. That's your way of actually overcoming the objections. But you can't just roll that out, right? So this is really what makes it cool. You take a look at what all of those things are. All of the things that you need them to know, that they want to know, all of the questions that they ask, and you roll that into stories that are success stories and case studies from other people's personal experiences. For instance, I'll give you a good example. How about somebody comes in and their biggest question is, does this really work? Does this really work for you? Does this really help? Well, you know that they're going to ask that. So you could tell 3 or 5 stories about how somebody asked you that question and how you shared what happened to them and how that product or service really worked, how it worked for them. Remember, most of these questions, again, are around how fast can I get it? How quickly is it made? How high is the quality? Is the price good for money? That kind of thing. So you want to build your stories around that. Like, how does it work? What is the effectiveness? How quickly you were able to deliver it? How timely it was, how current the information was, how current the look was. A lot of my thinking really honestly goes back to when I sold furniture, because when I sold furniture, I was working with new people coming in all the time, all the time, all the time. It wasn't like we were doing direct mail ad campaigns or newsprint. We didn't have any social media at the time. We didn't even use the internet at the time. So a lot of times when people were coming in, I knew that their biggest questions were, how quick can I get this? Is this something in stock? Is this good quality for the money that I'm paying? A lot of times they were asking where it was being made. That was a big question at the time. There were a lot of different things that they were asking me about. So when I would build the stories that I was going to tell them, they were always built around those kinds of questions. And in fact, a lot of times I was even leading them a little bit with, who is it that's going to want to see this bedroom set first? Or who is the person that you are going to be the most proud to share this information with? Well, I still challenge that no matter what you're selling, that's probably one of the best questions, right? Who is the one person who is going to be the most excited that you made this decision? And who's the one person that's going to be the most skeptical that you're going to want to share this with, right? So those are good. So this is kind of your superpower. You've already been through this a bunch of times. Practice. Go through what these questions and answers were so that you can really share these stories. I have a couple questions, so I want to read them. How did they find the money? How is this made? How is the quality? Those were questions. When did they finally make the decision? What was the final determining factor when they made this decision before whatever the product or service was? When can they get it? When can they have it? When is it available, right? Who will they share this decision with? Who is this going to impact? Who is going to really benefit from this product or service? What would really solve their problem, and what is really their problem? That's a what. Where have they currently been looking to solve their problem? Where has it been that they've been able to find a solution? Why is this solution going to suit their needs? Ask them. That's a great one. By the way, if you want to really uncover what somebody wants to know, ask them. Why do you think this is going to work for you, right? These are all really amazing ways to really get the conversation going. So today, I want to wrap up by saying thank you so much for watching my videos. Thank you so much for following me on YouTube. My YouTube handle, if you haven't found me yet, is youtube.com/Julia Flynn Worry 410. 410 is my area code where I live. So you can find me there. And I also have a private Facebook group about marketing and sales tips. I'd love for you to join me. Again, I thank you so much for being here. And remember, my challenge to you today is to actually create that superpower list and all of those stories that will actually help you overcome those objections before they're even arisen. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really enjoy being with you. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you again soon.